as your life, journey? What have you decided to do? I think is a question you have to ask yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you an artist?
Mastermind family, welcome back to the show. I am your host, JoJo, and today's Artist Motivation, where we bring on the hottest, latest artists and allow them to bring insight, inspiration, hope, so you can go out and create amazing content. And our special guest for the day, Papsouleye, right? And Souleye. And we have a very, very special guest. This creator, his focus is on synagogue, African, diaspora type culture focus, and so we think that what he's going to bring onto the show is going to really, really inspire a lot of African artists. And so, without further delay, Papsouleye, please introduce yourself and tell yourself to the people, man.
All right, hello everyone. Hello. Yes, I'm Papsouleye. I am a African American. In a total sense. My mother is American, and my dad is Senegalese, West African. So a lot of my work, is based off of the sort of that transnational conversation. So yeah.
Awesome. And I guess, Papsouleye, tell us, how did you actually get started on your journey as an artist?
Well, honestly, honestly, it's kind of like a blood and sort of family thing. My mother was an artist before she became an anthropologist, and my dad was a carpenter. So he made windows, beds, tables, things like that, chairs. And so I think as a child, I was always in arts, in the arts. I was doing theater, I was drawing. My mom was always putting me in like clubs and stuff. So I was always interested in art, and also, I was able to I had access to it, so.
Yeah, that's.
And also, that's what it is, If you have it in your space, if it's around you, you tend to just be like, where, I guess I'll do that. That sounds like fun,
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's great exposure, especially, was that done at an early age?
Yeah, definitely at an early age. Honestly, well, I grew up in Senegal, West Africa, so as children in Senegal are always left to sort of explore and sort of discover themselves. They are given a lot of responsibility, and so I was able to have my mom sort of put me in these clubs with other children, and I would sort of with them being also interested in art, and having the sort of freedom to explore. We, would go out and just find stuff, bring back cool things, put things together, play around, jump around. It was always I think that sort of attitude came, brought the work together, brought me towards, made it more, made it more fun for me, to apply that also to the arts, this sort of exploration,
Definitely, man. That's actually amazing stuff, man. You gotta tell me, man, I guess, some of the big influences, what would you say has been some big influences on that impacted your art, man?
Wow. Okay. So I've had some, honestly, what has really, really most impacted me personally, I'll get personal, and then I'll be what is outside of personal, right? So
Right.
Personally, what has inspired me is what I said, the sort of freedom to explore and having sort of a basis and a respect for my roots, a respect for where I came from,
Mm-hmm.
I think my mom definitely instilled that in me, is to sort of respect where you're from and to love where you're from. So coming from the United States and coming from Senegal, there's both African Americans also have a deep respect from where they're from, and so do Senegalese, have a deep respect from where they're from. So that, I think, has always been the most inspiring thing for me. But now I watch all this anime.
Right.
I watched all this Dragon Ball Z and Berserk.
Whoa, you said Berserk? You said Berserk? Oh man, that's a classic, man. They just
exactly. So that these heroes who are fighting for what they believe in, that whole journey, I really am so trapped in, So I that honestly is a huge inspiration for me, definitely. In my young age, definitely.
I got you. Okay, you got to tell us, man. What has got to be your favorite anime that you've seen thus far? Like, just quick question.
Oh, okay. That's hard though. Honestly, okay. I love Hunter x Hunter, man.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I give you that.
Hunter x Hunter was one of my favorite, but I also love Akira. I love the old school stuff.
I feel you.
Super old school, but Hunter x Hunter, in terms of like pure anime, that one was.
Now, which one? Were we talking about the 2011 or were we talking about the old school one? Like, which one?
Okay, I'm talking about 2011.
All right, so you talking about the reboot. Okay.
I'm talking about the reboot, for real.
Okay.
But I did read the comic. I was into the comic. I love the drawings. To the manga. I love the drawings and stuff. So that led me to go directly into the 2011. So I was like, I'll just skip that since it's like probably better, animation or whatever. But
I got you.
I love it so much. The music, especially, is so good in the
Yeah, it's fire. I got you. Okay, so like you being from Synagogue, I mean, do you currently live there or now are you in the States now?
Well, right now I'm in Senegal at my house. Yeah.
Okay, so
in the hot sun.
man, that's like Ghana. Like for me, whenever I go to Ghana, it's like extremely hot, and
yeah, man.
And it's hot. That's all I can say. It's hot because we're on the equator. But being in that, particular, location, like how have you find it, to like get your name out there as an artist and, trying to like network, being at the location that you're at? I mean, like, how do you do it? Because like we do have listeners that are in that, in Africa or, somewhere close, and maybe they can get some tips and tricks from you on how you actually are putting yourself out there and, things of that nature.
Absolutely. So I would say, like, first of all, like, try to keep yourself within the network. And that means by, like, not just, like, sort of making things. I know, like, we have always, as artists, this pressure. And I know I put a lot of pressure on myself to continuously be making all the time. But, like, that, I don't think is the most important part of, being able to sort of stay tuned and connected. I think going to events is one of the most important things, is to be able to try to stay tuned to when there is an artist event. It doesn't, it could be a friend, it could be a new artist you're looking at, or something you saw on the internet or on TV. Is to try to go to those events and to just have conversations with people, and just sort of let them discover you as well, because by putting yourself out there, you're able to sort of, it's chance, like there will be some sort of interaction that could lead you to a next, project, for example.
Okay.
And for me, especially in Senegal, where technology is really high here. There is really good technology, but not everyone has the same level or ability or access to technology. And
Sure.
So it's like, it's a battle. You meet people, you have conversations, you try to keep it in the social network, you try to keep it sort of like, word of mouth. So it's sort of it's going back and forth between those two that I think is difficult when you're in sort of in Senegal specifically. So that's what I've been dealing with, and I think that would be my advice, is to try to stay as connected to like to the what do you call it, like the
as far as like the environment, like your world.
Try to stay as close to it as possible, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's very practical stuff. I mean, because we gotta realize. I mean, now I gotta ask this question. So you stay plugged in, you stay connected to your environment, but do you also like have a job that occupies your time? And if so, like, how do you manage that? Or if it's school, how do you manage that?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I understand exactly what you mean. So, I mean, depending on what you've decided, I think, as your yeah, as your life, journey. What have you decided to do? I think is a question you have to ask yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you an artist? Is that what you want?
Mm-hmm.
I've run into that a bunch of times, personally, where I just like break down, I'm just like, God, man, how do I do this? I get really crushed.
Yeah.
I crush myself. It's not necessarily anyone else. It's just me sort of being hard on myself.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to other professional artists, and what they say is that you're choosing. This is your this is what you want. So you have to make that decision and to follow through with that decision. So that means even if you are in school, and you have, or you're in art school or you're not in art school, is if you are in art school, to really push yourself to go and to want to go because that is what you love, And if you're not, if it's like something that you're interested in but you're not sure, don't be afraid to sort of like try something different with that, like going to an art show that you don't necessarily are interested in, maybe not, maybe you might meet someone there. It's to sort of be open to opportunities that reveal themselves,
Right.
Whether or not they are comfortable or uncomfortable, try to manage, basically.
Okay. So then, like, doing that and, realizing that the person has made those choices, like, they decided to go to art school or, okay, well, they're not going to art school, but they're having to work, but they still want to continue to, like, make time to draw, but they say that they're either too tired or busy or, maybe they don't have the resources. Like, what would you tell, what advice would you give to those people for, based on your experience?
Based on my experiences, without resources or without, the workspaces or things like that, is that to just maybe try to keep it close, for that time. It's not going to last forever. If it's something that you're passionate in and something that you feel really strong about, the more that you push yourself towards it, the more opportunities will come up. It's so weird how it happens, is that the more you engage with it, the more like certain things start to come up. They might not be as big as you would like them to be, or as much as your expectations, but they do arise. Like I had in Senegal, there is a huge anime, following, and manga following, but it's not really not a lot of people come together to make this happen. So it was kind of hard for me to sort of like try to build I'm working on a comic / manga right now, and I didn't know where to sort of like have people, have access to it, give people access to it, or have, where I can show it. And so then I went out one night to this thing, and I met this guy who is trying to start his own edition company where he publishes manga in Senegal. Then they had a manga con here, and I was part of it. I did like live drawing there, and so it just kind of happened because I was sort of looking, and interested in going to places and trying to engage. So it is just like it's going to be hard depending on who you are and where you're from, and it's just, I'm just saying, have courage. It is hard, so.
Well said. I mean, you're thinking about it. You're always constantly, trying to see how can I, do something that's getting closer towards my dreams. And then, by coincidence and, there's no such thing as coincidence, but, your thought had attracted, the right person at the right place at the right time, where it just kind of introduced you to, something else that, put you in a position where you can get more, exposure and, and just meet different people. And so I think that's actually well put, is that, you gotta be thinking about it. You gotta take some action, and you just gotta put yourself out there, and it's as hard as it is, because I get it. I know it's not the same as the US, but you still gotta do your best with what you got, right?
Exactly.
So Go ahead.
Yeah, and I know all of them are so inspired. There's so much of us here in Africa, as a content, but Senegal as well, who are so inspired and have so much work, and they're very, very excited and inspired. And I'm just speaking out to them to, go to Golurek, come here, go to Golurek, it'll come.
Yeah, man, 100%, man. I gotta ask you, man, did you ever experience any negativity, throughout your journey? And if so, how did you get past it?
Honestly, the negativity, I'm trying to think. Well, most negativity comes from me, honestly, I feel.
Okay, so how did you deal with it?
Right, yeah, well, honestly, there have been times where people have not understood, exactly, right. People don't understand the concepts and the ideas that you're working with, because they sometimes may be new or complicated, or come up with this crazy story in your head, and you're like trying to explain it to someone, and you come at them with the whole storyline, the whole backstory, the future story, the middle story, all the characters, where they met, and everyone's like, oh my god, I can't take all this information.
Yeah.
You get the wrong reaction, and you're like, oh crap, man, I feel like I messed up, But I'd say that there's been moments like that. But you just come out of it, and you're like, honestly, I go back to my little brother, who's a musician, right? Artistic family here. He's a musician, and so what he does with me is that he'll play a song for me, right? A new song.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'm excited to listen to this stuff. Be tight. And so he plays it, and I'm like, wow, this is cool, And then I'm like, and I start criticizing, I'm like, but there's this part though, that part, it goes down and it doesn't go up again. And then he's like, all right. So then he waits 2 days, right? 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays it again. And I'm like, yo, ooh, that is nice. I like that.
Yeah.
That's the same song. That's the same song. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, dang, it's really good, man. I'm feeling it. So I think it also, it's just, you get better at talking to people about your work, and it's good to not give up, because it's you. It's it's something you love, I love the work I make,
Damn, that's...
And all I gotta do is just keep loving it.
Damn.
We'll love it as well.
Damn, I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but man, yes, you've hit a point where I think I want to focus on, and it's being able to explain your story in a concise manner where people can follow. Because when you go to shows or events and people ask you, so what is this about? And if it takes you 20 minutes to just illustrate, a summary, then you need to work on how to communicate it quicker and better and efficient.
Exactly. So that your people can understand you, and people can engage with the narrative and everything. So
correct, because
definitely that.
Because sometimes when you're at these shows, look, people are going to be flying through, and you have 10 seconds. And if you can't spit it out in 10 seconds, you're in trouble. Now, understand that there's people who want to hear a little bit more, so that's how you change the story to give them a little bit more to tease them, right? But it shouldn't take 20 minutes to explain a summary of a story.
Exactly. And I think that's also something, it's to be able to sort of, I think that also I'm thinking a lot about right now with this comic I'm working on, Oblivion Rouge. I'm really thinking about how I can promote it the best possible and just sort of get people engaged with it. And it's that, I think, is the toughest battle, because how do you have people access? How do you give people access to something like that, where there's other major companies who are way on top of it? They got a whole budget for promoting their content. So it's hard to be an independent artist trying to sort of share your vision with the world. Even though what I believe is that my vision is just as valid, as I don't know, some crazy big company.
Yeah, I mean, your vision is very valid. It's the matter of, okay, knowing what you got, how hard are you willing to like, push it, and really like, because I get it, man. You're against Viz Media, you're against Manga Entertainment, you're against, all these big players in the industry who have a budget for marketing. Well, the thing is that all you got to do is come at a different angle than what they're doing in these like little pockets that, people aren't paying attention to, or in the sense that they're not even playing in. So where is people's attention? And that's where you should go all in and just kind of like wherever you see eyeballs at, that's where you should be, right? And I think, as a even I'm talking to myself and my family as well, is that, look, put yourself out there, promote, and seek where the attention is. Go find where the attention is. Is it TikTok? Is it, Instagram? Is it whatever? I mean, go find the attention and go insert yourself, because what we all have is the internet, right? But not everybody has it. There's certain limitations and stuff. So I get that part. So, but you just you just use what you got, right?
Exactly. You do what you can. Honestly, I was thinking of here in Senegal. There's there are these rollerbladers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's serious traffic in Dakar, Senegal.
Mm-hmm.
There are these rollerbladers that just zoom through in the middle of traffic and drop flyers in people's cars. So
see?
I might pay them a couple 5,000 francs, and they can zoom all over Dakar and put posters up of Olivier Rouge everywhere and get people, interested. So that's also a plan.
Exactly.
A little bit more. That's something that might be kind of fun too.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's perfect, man. So like, I know promotion is important. So I guess my question for you is, what do you do to actually stay motivated? Because it's tough sometimes where you get discouraged. How do you stay motivated to finish what you started? How do you keep yourself going?
How do I keep myself going? Okay. I feel like, I think if I stop, I know this from, because I'm also an artist. I'm also a fine artist. I think I just get kind of uncomfortable, honestly, when I'm not making. When I'm not, like, expressing myself, I feel very uncomfortable. And I feel like I'm withering away.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Wrong.
Wow.
So the alarm goes off in my head, and I'm like, okay, something needs to be done. And it might start really small, honestly. I could be listening to music and start dancing in the house. And get so excited. Get so excited that I want to sit down and, maybe draw something or, like, or keep dancing. I think just have freedom of expression. Just feel yourself and go.
Right.
That's what motivates me most of the time. It's
I got you.
It's yeah.
Okay.
But I think also, like I said before, this sort of respect for where I come from. I think also I feel like since I've come to Senegal, I've felt a sense, because I made the choice to come to Senegal and not continue with my studies. I finished my bachelor's degree, and I had the choice to continue into into graduate studies, So I decided to go to Senegal because I felt like I had some kind of purpose. I'm Senegalese. I feel like what I've learned and what I've attained and the skills and all that, what I've learned from being able to go between these countries, I want to give back. I want to do what I can to also exploit where I'm from, Senegal, to be able to give a language for the people to be able to use that may be different and new, or also bring some of their own languages out as well, exploiting that. And I think what I found in Senegal is a sense of purpose, and having a sense of purpose allows me to make decisions and goals, which also motivate me, because if I say that I want to do something most of the time, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
I think that's also my personality most of the time. Yeah. And I go to until I get something, whatever it is, you know, I'm gonna get something, and I know that I will, and whether or not that thing is good or bad isn't in my head. It's just I'm gonna get something.
I gotcha.
I usually just fight for that, and I learned that from like anime and stuff. I'm sorry, you know, I learned that from Goku.
That is funny.
Naruto, all that stuff.
Okay.
You know, just keep going until you get something.
Right. Exactly. I respect that. So okay. So you gotta tell us, man. Like, what is Oblivion Rogue, man? Tell us a little bit about that story, man.
So Oblivion Rouge.
Oh, Rouge. Excuse me. Oblivion Rouge.
Yeah, Rouge, like red.
Okay.
In French.
Gotcha.
So Oblivion Rouge I'm gonna break it down just by saying it's a comic that I want to deal with the PTSD that I think most African and people of African descent have dealt with, which is of like sort of feeling maybe that what you are you do not own, basically. What you are does not belong to you, right? So that is the I think the conceptual basis to most of the story of Oblivion Rouge.
Okay.
But it's split up into 9 chapters, nine sections, I call them.
Okay.
Where different characters are in each section, right? And they will eventually connect with each other. But it's a very aggressive comic, I think, manga, and it has a little bit of violence, but it has a lot of African. It has a couple African or Senegalese religious relationships with a little bit of Islam and a little bit of animistic religions that were here before Islam. So that has like spirits and things like that. So it's kind of interesting. I think it's very very cool.
That is, man. Okay, so then when is it gonna be released?
So I'm working on the first chapter right now, the first section. The first section is complete. I need to do the dialogue, just add the dialogue, and it'll probably be finished by the end of this year, hopefully. To finish it by.
Come on, make a commitment to the people. When you gonna release it?
I know. Okay, I'm making the commitment right now. It will be finished before December.
Boom! You heard it here, everybody. You heard it here. So we be on the lookout. We gonna be on the lookout for Oblivion Rouge. All right. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so to kind of like wrap things up, man. Like, tell us, like, what are some words of wisdom that you would like to impart on the show, man? And what is something you wish someone had told you before you got started on your journey?
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna start with someone told me something. I honestly never really liked the someone tells me something because most teachers that I've ever had, they always tell me stuff. They're always like, let them do, their wisdom stuff, and then I'm just like, you don't know me. I'm like, you don't know anything. Get back. I get really, I don't know. I don't believe in that. So I like just kind of listen, and then I intake as inspiration, and then it becomes me, and then I will feel more comfortable in engaging in an idea. So what words of wisdom I do want to leave though is, don't forget where you come from, and to remember to give to where you come from, and that is so important to elevate each other, not to worry about whether or not there is always accomplishment, but to always think about sharing what you have, and if you when you're climbing up the ladder, just give a hand to someone else to also climb up that ladder. It's not gonna or join or make a ladder together, or a pair of stairs that can also allow others to climb with you, because that, I think, for me is what I always try to do, with other artists that I know, my friends or people that I've just met, you know, like I met this other guy the other day on Instagram who talked to me. He's a Senegalese, and he came over. We had a conversation about his story that he was working on. He was someone who went to school, did engineering and mathematics, and was like, you know, this is not me. You know, and and he was always writing, you know, his stories. So that line right there, you know, I'm not gonna be like, you know, I'm not interested in this because blah blah blah. I'm gonna be like, wow, this guy contacted me and was like, dude, I would love to work with you, even if I'm not interested totally into what he's doing or the story or whatever. I'm going to engage with him, and maybe that in the future can be something, you know.
Yeah.
Our relationship can be something.
Yeah.
So he came over, and I honestly will work with him. I'll do some concept and character designs with him, you know, because that it doesn't hurt me at all. It's more practice, you know.
Yeah.
So I think things like that, when opportunities like that show up, don't just always, you know, cut it off. I think it's a good opportunity to share also, you know, yourself, to share yourself with everyone.
Yeah, man. Respect. That was awesome. You know, Papsouleye, you know, thanks for being on the show, man. And just providing, you know, hope and inspiration to the people. So tell the people, where can they find more of your work and connect with you at?
Absolutely. So if you go to Papsouleye on Instagram at Papsouleye, you will find my work, or type in Oblivion Rouge, hashtag Oblivion Rouge, and there will be all of my posts that I've posted so far on Oblivion Rouge on Instagram. See you there.
Awesome. Mastermind family, that is going to do it for the show. We hope you enjoyed the show with Papsouleye. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone, because we want to show that what Papsouleye is doing is some amazing stuff. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.